Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video, I will go over about 8 very important topics. Not that I usually go over flimsy topics or something like that, but I gotta tell you that sometimes I think obviously that certain subjects are more important than others. So right now I picked for this video about at least five that are so important. Why? Because the dynamics on this planet changed, and that is something that confirms my assessments from previous videos for about, I don't know, 2 years ago already, and which is the formation of a new club. But that's one of the most important ones, because I'm going to give you about 6 or 7 articles where I'm going to show you what kind of frenzy is for countries to join BRICS. BRICS got its own currency now. That means the dollar is screwed big time. That means you, my fellow Americans, and we're going to be starting producing something besides services. So the first topic has to do with the possible Russian offensive towards the city of Zaporizhzhya. I'm going to show you maps on that one as well. Second one, I have an article just for the title. It's a title that reports Putin's statement regarding how he or Russians feel if they are threatened. And I felt using this article because that's the way, exactly the same I feel. So I don't know, I possibly am Russian, or maybe there is a, how do you call it, a quality of certain kind of people, crazy or something. Next one, Russia is open to peace talks. And that is according to New Voice of Ukraine and Russia Today. Russia is ready for, and I'm quoting, this is Putin saying it, rational compromise with Ukraine. Well, and I have to tell you that I like the way he puts things into perspective by Russia Today. Probably the other guys are going to be weasels, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. Remember when I told you, if you watched my video so many times, that actually the West is not isolating Putin and Russia, but actually they isolate themselves? I said it many times, and I gave you always that example or analogy with the guys going to a party and isolating the big majority of the party attendees, but we isolate them, and we're 3 guys and the other guys are like 50 over there, but we isolate them. So that's how I feel about the imbeciles here. We isolate them. No, it's you isolating yourself from the rest of the world. Remember, that's 140 or 194 or 193 countries on this planet. It depends who's overthrowing whom and something like this, and is recognized or not. And then these guys are what? The plantation is no more than 45 states. No more. That's the maximum. So the 45 states isolate the rest of the world. So collective West has self-isolated and condemned itself to irrelevance. I don't know if they condemn themselves to irrelevance, but definitely they are working towards self-isolation, which never was good. I will give you the example of Japan, medieval Japan, until 1868 or 1869, when Commodore Perry, opened Japan for business. Do you remember how he opened it? He bombed the shit out of Yokohama harbor. That's how we opened Japan. He put his little vessels over there and fired its cannons on Yokohama and said, "Are you open for business?" "No," or "Yeah," as the Japanese would say, "No." "Yeah." "Okay." Boom, boom, boom. "Are you open?" "Yeah." Boom, boom, boom. "Are you open for business?" "Yeah, we are." Or "Hi." Or "Hi." That's exactly how it happened. So that was in 1868. We've been practicing this thing, and we look at Russia. We opened Japan. Japan was open, and then it was the Meiji Restoration and all that garbage. Anyway, so why do you say that? Because they did some very bad stuff. The samurai caste and the code of Bushido and all that. They destroyed, like these guys destroy our civilization. All right, let's move on. We have here updates. Countries that join. I already said who is going to become partner states to BRICS. That is, the next step is love. No, the next step is right there in BRICS. I have a few countries that are very interested. Some of them are in Europe. Can you believe that? No, because these guys in the West think that they will keep you in the darkness. Putin holds talks with Palestinian President Abbas. What does that mean? That means the club of the very good will get involved in the Middle East. And that means some country, some important country, small, tiny, will have an opposition. So when that country is going to use the bully boy, which is your country, which is United States of America, and my country as well, then we have on the other side the Chinese, over there the Russians, and the rest of the world against the club. Now, Putin holds private meeting, not only with Abbas, but with the United Nations Secretary General, who is in Kazan attending BRICS. What does it tell you? Who's isolated? And we have one country, two countries that say we want to become BRICS members. We are ready. And one of the biggest announcements, BRICS Banknote. All big deals begin with symbols. We're going to show you the banknote that BRICS come up with. So the dollar cling. We are on the way of being screwed, my friends. And these guys, I'm going to show you how it's portrayed. BRICS behind the scenes. Guide for propagandists and large-scale bot campaign. This is something happening on this planet extraordinary. It's a tectonic level. And these guys, well, it's just a propagandist and large-scale bot campaign. These guys are telling you and I. And this is the Institute for the Study of War. I will tell you about that because you always have to know who gives you the news. If I would be, let's say, a Russian KGB and I would say, Russian KGB, what do you think I will talk about? All right, or if I would be an MI6, how do you think I'm going to talk about? First, it depends what kind of orders and mission I was given, right? And then based on that, I would follow the plan at the best of my abilities and my training. Now, Elon Musk. Oh, I've been told by someone that it's not Elon Musk, it's Elon. I was asked to pronounce Elon. I said, fuck, no, Elon. Elon Musk. You know who I'm talking about, right? So Elon Musk regularly communicates with Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. What does that mean? I think that Mr. Elon Musk looks for protection, military protection. I'll explain. Sounds crazy? Yeah, I will explain. He doesn't have an army. So these guys here can pick him up whenever they want. Remember Durov in France? Just an example. We find out that weasel, that pussy, his name is Justin Trudeau, given a deadline to step down. He shouldn't have been over there in the first place if the Canadian system would have been serious and the way they claim to be. No, it's not. It's a farce. It's a I don't want to say divine comedy, but it's just all right. And we find out that this another how do you call it? Not coincidence. That's what comes. It's just a confirmation of some things that I said before. One of the European Union members, NATO state, calls on the European Union to send troops to Ukraine. Do you know who that might be? He's an imbecile that I covered many times before. Right? There's not from Germany or France or I don't know, in this case being the European Union, but let's say the Great Britain. No, it's a tiny fucking country that asks for a big, how do you call this, flick over its nut, bonk, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. All right, I'm going to give you his first name, Gabrielius. All right, Gabrielius. No, he's not a Roman legionnaire. Far from that. He's a weasel. All right, let's start with the beginning. What's going on, baby doll? Looks awful. All right. Oopsie, that's not good. Ta-da! Ukrainian officer warns of possible Russian attempt to advance towards Zaporizhzhya. This is according to New Voice of Ukraine right here. So if a Ukrainian officer warns about possible Russian attempt, that means they're already going that way. Where is Zaporizhzhya? Here, this is the map of Ukraine. I will show you. This is Zaporizhzhya Oblast. This is the Sea of Azov. This is the Crimean Peninsula. This is the Black Sea. So here is, if you remember, Enerhodar. This is where that power plant is, the nuclear power plant. This is that reservoir that was drained by supposedly Russians hitting this dam here in Kakhovka. Remember why? Right here, because they said so. What's his name? Novoya Kakhovka, right here. Because Zelensky's time said so, and the media in the West picked up his big lie without evidence. He just said it. They did it, and everyone said, "Yeah, they did it." Why? Didn't you hear Zelensky? They didn't hear the Russians. Anyway, so this is drained right now. It's not like it is Nerhodar. And from here, this is Zaporizhzhya from here on. So this is Zaporizhzhya city. It's on the Dnieper River right here. So supposedly, and I think that's true, the Russians are going to have an offensive going towards Zaporizhzhya. They are already broken the front in this area, and they are moving that way. We'll find out. Let's see what these guys are, what kind of evidence he provides. Commenting on the operational situation on the Kharkov front, he said that Ukrainian defenders are well equipped with the area and are minimizing the risk of being surrounded. That's great. We understand from the enemy's plans that they have a desire to advance towards Zaporizhzhya. To reinforce the group that is fighting on that side. This guy said, suggesting that Putin has a crazy idea to start offensive and assault actions towards the city. Crazy? He liberates his people. That's how he looks at it. So what are they going to do? All right. So this is, it says, the spokesperson for the Southern Defense Forces reported on October 2nd that the Russian military was preparing for assault actions on the Zaporizhzhya front to capture Ukrainian positions on the Robotyne salient and then advance to the administrative borders of Donetsk Oblast. So that is right here in this area. From here, go and advance to this border. I mean, if you look at what's happening in Donetsk towards Pokrovsk here, that is bad. I mean, the whole front here in Donetsk and Kharkov. Oh, what's up, Nosy Nate? The cat is here. This is bad right here. All right, so this is the first topic. Second one, this has to do with me, with moi. Russia Today. Threatening Russia only emboldens us, Putin. That's exactly what is going on with me. When I see these guys on YouTube and other weasels, some comments or people in general, and they push against me or they try to ban me or they call me, they're not going to send me in a safe space holding my pussy and massage it or, okay, baby doll. No, it's not. It's the opposite. That is an engine that creates something within me that makes me work even harder or gets, if I sometimes feel like, I'll fucking go to Tahiti for this weekend or for the next 30 days and screw everything and everybody. No, that is just going away the minute someone is challenging me. So the Russians are doing the same, embolden us. And I think that's true. And you also have the capability to smack someone back. All right, next article. Well, does that make me a Russian or makes me a certain person with certain traits? I know this kind of traits and not being flexible and kind are the strong traits nowadays, which I think they're the weak traits in our days right now. Being kind and being not empathetic. In the state of Michigan, as an employee, we've been saying you have to be so empathy. With empathy, you don't make the right decisions because that's skewed your objective reasoning. So empathy is not good for making policies or making decisions or distribute justice, because you can feel empathetic towards a rapist, and that's not good at all. Right. So let's move to the next topic, which is Moscow open to peace talks that legitimize its land grab in Ukraine, Putin says. This is according to New Voice of Ukraine. Russia is prepared to consider any options for peace agreements with Ukraine that are based on current realities on the ground. They've been saying this for a long time. Russian dictator, now he's dictator, but he was elected, and Zelensky runs from elections. But he's the dictator. Russian dictator Vladimir Putin said on BRICS summit, "We are prepared to consider any peace agreements based on the realities on the ground. Nothing new, and we are not prepared for anything else." This is not why I picked this one. This is just to show you that this is one related to this, but in this article coming from, excuse me, Russia Today. No, I was playing with the light, the cat. Like the light, meow meow. He's like, no, leave that. So I picked this one to show you a different aspect of Putin's statements. Russia ready for rational compromise, that's how he calls it, with Ukraine. It's Kiev that is erratic and unpredictable on peace talks, the president has said. And this is why I picked it. And I'm going to read it for you. And quote, "Any outcome should be favorable to Russia, and I say that directly." The same thing Zelensky Stein was asked or was told to say as well. And who doesn't want to? You remember when you hear someone, why don't they want peace? Well, I love peace as long as it's done on my terms. So when you hear, oh, the Palestinians don't want peace, the Arabs don't want a peace in the Middle East, because the peace process or the peace would be very disadvantageous to them. Why would they want that? Remember Napoleon Bonaparte? He said, "I'm a man of peace. I'm ready for signing any peace agreements here or treaties, as long as it's done or they're done my way." What the fuck you want? I think the same thing you want, right? Unless you have a, slavish mentality where you like people to screw you all the time and you have a disadvantageous peace or relationship. All right. So what does it mean? I say this directly. It's not hiding the fact that Russia will fulfill its 4 reasons why they claim they invaded Ukraine. I know it was unprovoked, but hey, I'm just going to say it for the sake of it. 1, Ukraine will not be a NATO country. 2nd, denazification, demilitarization. That means NATO, get the fuck out, and the Americans mainly. Right? And the other one would be neutral. Ukraine would be neutral over there. It's not going to be neutral, meaning you won't get in it. We are going to supervise it, and we're going to call it neutral. They're going to find a way. So these are the reasons. And stop the bloodshed that was against Donbass. And when, the coup in 2014 started, they sent military to kill those guys over there. And Putin said, no, those are our, ethnic Russians over there, our brothers. We're going to defend them. As the U.S. defended their settlers or immigrants in Texas, when Texas used to belong to Mexico. If you don't know that one, that's what triggered the American-Mexican War. Oh, American blood was spilled on American soil on. Read that one. All right, and then we entered and we say, hey, the Germans did Sudetenland, and they took over, they invaded and took over Czechoslovakia. That was in 1938 or something. And you guys did it in 1860 some, I think, under Polk, President Polk. Anyway, let's move to the next one. So yeah, he's going to fulfill his things. He tells it clearly. You made me jump in the water and get wet. That kind of wet. I'm not going to now come back and say, oh, no, I changed my mind after all this destruction. You want to hang me? You want a piece of me? Now you get it. You don't make me just, warm up and get scratched here and there for nothing. Or swim halfway and then come back. No. Now, let me show you this that, confirms something I've been saying for a long time. Collective West has self-isolated and condemned itself to irrelevance, analyst. Now, it's not necessary that if someone says something that coincides with my assessment is necessarily true, obviously, right? So that's not the way it is. Make this bigger. How in the hell I missed that one? It's because I think this is correct. The West self-isolates itself. And that's not good. It's not good for us. And I gave you the example of Japan. At that time it was, the shogunate. When the shoguns, the generals, the military generals, like here, but here these guys are not in charge legally. Over there, the shogun, the military general, was in charge, and the emperor was something over there, So the emperor was like a priest that would keep these guys with Buddhism and Shinto. That's exactly, and the guy was with the military. The same as here. If these guys want tomorrow, they can change it, but they are smarter than those guys. That is, that they hide for now. We're not in charge. No, these guys are in charge right here. But who's got guns? Who's got the guns? Got the power. So if I show up to debate with a gun right here, remember when Stalin met, I think it was in Potsdam, met Harry Truman and the other guy, Winston Churchill, which was nothing. But sorry to say that, I know people think, oh, they didn't care. Stalin and Harry Truman, not Harry Truman, it was a baboon. The other one, Roosevelt, they didn't care about much about Winston Churchill. But anyway, they needed him, so obviously. So they had a conversation, Stalin, the man of steel, the Georgian, not the Russian, the bad guy, with a good guy, with Harry Truman that dropped 2 atomic bombs. But hey, this is the bad guy, the other one is the good guy. You figure things out. And then Harry Truman told Stalin, Generalissimo Stalin, that was his title, Generalissimo Stalin. We're concerned, after they carved Europe and separated, the good people gave a lot of countries to the bad people. So great, good. But Truman was the good guy. And said, hey, Generalissimo, we are concerned with Roman, and the Pope. The Pope is concerned with the Roman Catholic majority in Poland, and they're afraid that once the communists come, you're going to do a Katyn again on these guys. And Stalin looked at the little fucker and said, how many armored divisions does the Pope have in Poland? What does that mean? He has no power. Any divisions? No, I'm in charge. Screw you. So it's power, my friends. Power. So, and Truman was like, I think it was in his memoirs, I said this conversation, and said, what the fuck, this guy was talking only from the principle of who has the guns has the power. So if I show up to a debate with a gun, I always win the debate. I guarantee you that, especially if I look a little bit scruffled or something. So the same here. These guys are just isolated. We isolate ourselves. That's not good. And what do you think is going to happen? I think part of the plantation will start breaking out, leaving. Hungary, Slovakia, and many others will start breaking out. So we're going to discuss about BRICS right now. Very important. I think it's the same of the same importance as when the Soviet Union collapsed and all that. That's how important this is. Why? Because we're going to have a multipolar world right now. So here is this article. BRICS summit highlights Twilight of the US hegemony, marks official launch of multipolar world. World order? What did I say? I said in a video yesterday that these guys, this is actually the official, when they had that declaration, the BRICS declaration, that's the official statement of the creation of the club of the very good. That's how I call it, just to be an asshole, because we are the. And then I said, how about we make it the very good? We are just of the good, they are the very good. I mean, it's like a farce. Unfortunately, that's a lot of crimes committed, and a lot of people are dying, and countries are destroyed on these baboons just playing money and power. So I think it's true that this is a twilight of the US hegemony. The problem is, how do you react? About 3 years ago, Lavrov, or maybe more than 3 years ago, Lavrov was interviewed by a British whatever he was, just put a microphone. He was on the operatives, by the way he spoke and so on. And I think it was that Steve Rosenberg from BBC, Russia attaché. He interviews everybody over there. He's a Jewish guy, you know who he is, and I know who he is very well. Anyway, so he asked, and Lavrov said, the problem of the West right now, it was before the Ukraine, is that they don't understand, they don't want to accept yet that their empire has been collapsing and they're not that important anymore. They can't come to terms that they cannot dictate to everybody, push everybody around anymore. They don't get it yet. And it was about 5 years ago or more. Now, moreover, you couldn't destroy Russia yet. And these guys are forming BRICS. And how do you view that? I covered it yesterday with John Kirby saying, we're not worried about BRICS. Are you either in the delusional, denial, incompetent, or a weasel who know that, but you don't want to create panic among your baboons, which is the main public. That's what we are. All right, next one. Let me show you who joins or who wants to join BRICS. According to Sputnik, Belarus becomes BRICS partner state, Lukashenko. Now, this is not a big surprise. Bolivia joins BRICS as partner nation. Remember Bolivia. That means Bolivia could, in the near future, have some missiles over there. But I don't think the Russians need the missiles because they have the submarines. But a submarine you can position wherever you want and you hit whatever you want. And they don't even know where the fuck you are. Next one. Putin holds talks with Palestinian President Abbas. What does that mean? He's the isolated one. Joe Biden doesn't even want to talk with these guys. He talks only with his masters, who inform him what he needs to shut the fuck up or needs to come in front of the camera and say that we condemn this and we condemn that and we continue to support. Give them about $20 billion from the American public right now. Or we don't have, print some, goddammit, or get a loan from, I don't know, the Rothschilds or something. I think I'm joking. Yeah, okay. So Putin and the Middle East, they're going to get slowly involved in the Middle East. I guarantee you that. And the Palestinians, seeing the other protection club coming in, or how do you want to call it, criminal organization. The first one is over there already, and they're fucking the Arabs and the Palestinians and all these guys big time. And now these guys say, oh, this is a savior. This guy, if we join this guy, these guys will protect us from these idiots. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And remember, Russia has better, what I say better, I will explain, relationship with the Arab world and the United States of America. Why is that? Because they didn't impose shit on them. They didn't come and bomb them and did not support someone hitting them inside of their countries with missiles whenever they defend themselves. So Russia has a bigger and better record of discussing with these guys. That's why BRICS is so appealing, because it doesn't sound like I'm the boss. And we know who's the boss in the European Union. In the European Union, is not Germany the boss, it's the United States of America. Why? Because it sounds crazy, but the United States of America is in charge of Germany. I mean, Germany, goddammit, imposed sanctions on its economy, industry. Who said that? Al Capone. Germany has American troops on it, about 70,000. Has nuclear weapons on it. America, not theirs. I mean, to say that Germany is independent of the no. So the United States of America is in charge of NATO. Its troops are in European Union. European Union troops are not in the United States of America. Thank God. So that tells you the distribution of power. So here you have these guys treating the Arabs better than those guys treated. And we fucked ourselves. We could have been very well, in a different relationship with them. But the problem is you have those paranoid guys over there that you know who I'm talking about, who's going to dictate to Americans, you can't love those guys. No. It's because of us. And they harness us with their... Anyway. So let's see who else Putin talks to. The isolated bad guy. Putin holds private meeting with United Nations chief. Russian president and the Global Organization Secretary General held a meeting behind closed doors where they discussed the crisis in Ukraine and the Middle East. So Guterres showed up in Kazan. It was not Putin meeting himself. No, he showed up there. What does it tell you? He wants to talk to him and someone is in charge. The Americans will condemn that. That's very important. But I'm going to show you now other countries that are big fans of BRICS. One is big fan of BRICS. Serbia favors cooperation with BRICS over stifling political agenda. So the Serbs, I hope they didn't forget the 1999 distribution of justice from NATO bombardments. I hope they didn't forget, and I hope their weasel mass media will not make them forget or give them a nuance as they had to do it because you were bad, you were committing genocide, therefore they had to do it, so you're guilty. Okay, I hope they don't spin it that way to you. So they will never forget, I hope. And therefore they will know who was at that time kind of a friend. Russia was weak, Yeltsin was drunk, they sent some troops at an airport, and that was about it. They couldn't do shit. If things will happen again, let's say it will be the 9/9 events will be now, Putin will send military, will fuck them up. Kosovo would not exist, as I think it shouldn't exist as a country. It's not its place to be they formed an ethnic state again, but somehow they would not form ethnic states in the United States. You can form a lot of ethnic states here. But no, we like diversity is our strength. But somehow Serbia should not have diversity. They couldn't live together. Why? Because Milosevic was a criminal. All right. let's look at another crazy guy. And here you have it. Republika Srpska. Leader intends to discuss bilateral economic ties with Putin. Here is Mr. Dudik, right? Or Dudik? Milorad Dodik told Sputnik on Thursday that he was going to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of the BRICS summit in Kazan to discuss economic ties amid sanctions. The meeting with President Vladimir Putin, which will take place in the evening, is of course the most important one for me, Dodik said. Republika Srpska, I think, is together with Bosnia-Herzegovina, with something over there. It's like something. And these guys are separatists. They just want to live like Kosovo, ethnic state. Just break from this and be over there. Why aren't they allowed? Remember, the Americans sent some bombers over Republika Srpska when they said that? I covered it about a year ago when, again, Dodic made some statements, and NATO, Americans, sent bombers over as a threat. And you tell me that the Russians are imperialistic? Who's the asshole here? I mean, you were okay with right of self-determination until that runs against our interest. So that's not, if it is the law, it applies to all equally. But here, no. So I can't live with this kind of hypocrisy. That's why I'm talking about it. All right, let's talk about one of the most important developments, and it is the banknote, the currency of BRICS. That's a big blow. Not blowjob, but blow. Blowjob by some. Okay. BRICS banknote. All big deals began with symbols. Correct. You have to. This is the banknote. I've been sent the banknote on Facebook by some friends. I didn't believe it. I have to be honest with you guys. I looked at it and said, nah, it's too early. No. And we have here, beautiful. So we have the Chinese, we have the Brazilians, and then you have South Africans, I'm sorry, Brazilians, Russians, the Indians, and with the symbols, whatever symbols they want. They put a dragon here, they put Republik van Sud-Afrika, they put Republika Federativa do Brasil, you know, those, and you have here the, I don't hear because you see my melon, right? No, I don't like that. So I will try to do like, you see this, from the, Christ, Copacabana, whatever it is, here it is. So this is their symbol. These guys put, I think this is Ekaterin, I think in St. Petersburg. These guys put that, I can't remember how it is called, but in India, one of the famous, I can't remember how it is called, man. Anyway, they put this symbol, and here these guys put, I hope they didn't put slaves here or anything. I don't know exactly what these guys put here, but not good. Some people beating others, and this guy's grabbed by the neck. Okay, well, not good beginning. So this is the beginning of this thing. So what do you think? It's a big step. And these guys, I'm going to show you how the Institute for the Study of War want us to look at it. Behind the scenes of BRICS Summit, guide for propagandists and large-scale bot campaign. Institute for the Study of War. This is according to Ukrainska Pravda. Who is the Institute for the Study of War? The Institute for the Study of War, it's a so-called think tank. They're thinking, they're studying. They are, how do you call it, scientists, political scientists, social scientists, military analysts in Washington, D.C. And in charge of this, the director, her name is, I think it's Keegan. Why Keegan? She's Jewish. She's married with another Jewish guy, the guy Keegan. The guy Keegan is the brother of another Jewish brother, Keegan. And this Keegan, I think he's married with another Jew, what's her name? Victoria Nuland. So Victoria Nuland and the Keegan directing all the Institute for the Study of War, they are related, just in-laws, sister-in-laws, through the Keegan brothers. Why, you came back to the light now, meow meow? All right, so just so you know who the Institute for the Study of War. Don't believe me, please go to the Wikipedia, and you're going to go to the first, you're going to find, I think it's Kimberly Keegan. Go and get on her, you're going to find the guy Keegan, and then from the guy Keegan, his brother Keegan, and from him you're going to see the spouse, Victoria Nuland. Right? Like Madeleine Albright. All right, my friends, this is it. But this is what they say. It's just a propaganda. It's nothing, man. It's nothing. Did you hear what I already read over there? What these guys are doing? It's nothing. Besides the fact that BRICS economic output, PPP GDP, is 34% of the global economy. 34. G7 is 29%. This is just the beginning. BRICS already has half of the world global population. Resources, Venezuela wants to be. But if then Venezuela joins, you're going to have what? Oil for how many weeks? These guys must start tapping their thing. Now, let's see how Elon Musk prepares his... I see Elon Musk in Russia very well and very fast. Ukrainska Pravda. Elon Musk regularly communicates with Putin since late 2022. Wall Street Journal. This is another Keegan thing. Look at it. So why is it so? I think because he saw Durov, he saw how these guys are gonna... he got involved with Trump, but Trump is gonna be in the same... He's like, okay, I'm with the other gang, but I'm still in Chicago, 1920s. You don't wanna be over there like that. Why? Because the gang is over there. They can pick you up overnight. The other gang, you don't have the protection of Trump. You can be picked up overnight with papers and taken to a wall and... or nobody will hear from you. Or they will just investigate you forever. So he knows that. I hope he knows that. I mean, he's not an imbecile. So I think he's thinking like Snowden, Edward, that eventually ended up in Russia. And I don't know where Assange will end up. If Assange, the hero, Julian Assange, will start opening his mouth, he needs to go to Russia. He can't do it from Australia. Those guys are weasels. I'm talking about the, how do you call it, Albanese or whatever his name is. Fuck, that's communism over there. That's tyranny. And New Zealand as well. So he can't stay here. This guy's gonna apprehend him. Boom. He has the money, but not the military. When these guys receive the order, they come and pick him up with 1,000 papers, arrest warrants written, signed by how many judges you want. So I think he prepares his way out. I see Elon Musk, if Trump loses and even if Trump wins, seeing him very much in Moscow. Oh, and he's this baboon, the drama teacher, supposedly is given deadline to step down. He shouldn't have been there anyway. He was an immature, unexperienced, not intelligent baboon. I don't too many things for him. Guy, just because his father, they put him in charge. They got half of the Canadian population because he's kind of cute or something. They got the half of the population how he's sweet, and then he has passion and he feels things. He has different kind of socks, so that means he's not organized and disciplined. So that means like everybody else, like us, all right, and so on. So they pick this guy and throw it on the Canadian public, and the Canadians with maturity, they said, how can this baboon be in charge? How or what did he prove? He didn't prove shit. He was taken from one spot and put in charge of the Liberal Party in Canada. Just like that. Just like that. Now, I don't know if Fidel Castro did anything about that, but because, Fidel Castro and Justin Trudeau's mom had a little bit of a love. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any evidence. But, my God, he doesn't look like Father Trudeau. I gotta tell you that. This is an observation. If I look at Trudeau, Justin, and I look at the other guy, I think the other guy looks more like a, phenotype, whatever. All right, so the Prime Minister's popularity has plummeted after 9 years at the helm. Why? What possibly made the Canadians who love Trudeau change their mind and their popularity? What exactly? The economy? The media tells you live the dream, you're fantastic. The Ukraine? No, because you are on the right side of history. What? He's a nice guy. We Canadians, yes. He's just a fringe minority over there. Fuck me, Freddy. You got that? I don't think. He's gonna go out, they're gonna bring another piece of shit with a different face. You'll see. I mean, they always do this. I met so many women in my life, and when I had some political conversations, they would vote for candidates because they're cute. I've been told on a few occasions that I vote for you, you're cute. I don't give a shit if I'm a cyclope, you know what I mean? Or I'm like midget or something. the message, the balls, what you're gonna do, who you are, your character should matter. Not, oh, you're cute. No. And they vote. Niet. Russia Today. Member state calls on European Union to send troops to Ukraine. And this is the baboon. Lithuanian Foreign Minister Gabrielius Landsbergis. I made some videos on Landsbergis, and I showed you who Landsbergis is. Has called on Brussels to revive the idea of putting boots on the ground in Ukraine. Now, this is the Lithuanian foreign minister. The Lithuanian foreign minister is very young, and he had a meteoric rise, because when doors are open for you, you have a meteoric rise. And I think that's exactly what happened with Mr. Gabrielius Landsbergis. When you see someone, some educated somewhere outside, abroad, or connections with outside, and he's 34, let's say, and he gets to be a foreign minister, a lot of doors were open for him by those guys over there. That should be by default. And then you wait for evidence to contradict that. That's how you should go. You don't have to prove that. You just go by default. You go the other way. You don't believe me? Go around the block. Halfway. You don't have to go the whole way. So Landsbergis, I think, fits the definition. And he wants to be probably at one point Secretary General of NATO. I think that's his goal eventually. Now, this guy wants troops, European Union troops. Oh, let's talk about Lithuania. Do you know Lithuania's population, total population? I think it's 2.8 million people. 2.8! You know what it is? Not even a village in China. So, this is Lithuania that wants to fight the Russians. But not with Lithuanian people, with everybody else. I told you that story, or the joke with the elephant and the mouse. Both of them going on a wooden bridge. And then boom, 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 the elephant, boom, 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 boom. And kids, the mouse, nothing. And then as they, the shaking the whole bridge and the trampling, dum, 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 the mouse look at the elephant and say, hey, do you like how loudly we trample here? Motherfucker, it's not us. And it's not we. It's me, the elephant. So that's Lithuania and the Baltic states. Hey guys, we should attack Moscow. We should fight in Ukraine. We should send troops. Why don't you do it, little mouse? The same as Zelensky. Zelensky wants other people to fight for him and in the interest. And once that hits the fan, he's going to be catapulted to, I don't know, Tel Aviv, London, or New York. Something like this. I don't think Tel Aviv right now, because over there are going to be by Iran or something. But they're going to go to London, where they all go. Like the Russian oligarchs, when Putin was grabbing one after another, they went to the paymaster. Where? London. Not Berlin, not Paris, London. Why? I don't know. Look at Abramovich and others. They say, Abramovich is Putin's friend. They're not his friends. He kicked them out. That's why Putin got to go. He's European. They're not. Understand my hints? If you don't understand, everything I said is true. They're not Europeans. He's European. Did he kick them out? Yes. Were they in charge of Soviet Union and Russia with Yeltsin? Yeah, they came back after that with the swindle thing. Because they were not, between about 1960 to 1989, they were not. And then they came back and they bought shit with the help of the New York's banks, international banking system. And they bought Russia. How do you think there's all this Koporovsky, Korokovsky, Parakovsky, they just are just good with money. They got the Russian industry and energy. They became billionaires in 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Who gave them the money to buy all that? They were very entrepreneurial and very inventive. Fuck no, they came with the money from outside. I know that in Romania as well. So, and there was another takeover of Russia. And then little by little, Putin said, yeah, okay, shalom, shalom. And then he fucked, and now they're hating his guts. Look into that one. Thank you for being with me again today, my friends. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.